Hi, today I'm going to show you how I get set up for work in Glass Office, a VR chat world made for co-working, solo working, and teams. So, you can see I've already landed in the main world and I've come downstairs. I've also enabled rain to come off these windows and for the ambient sounds. That can also be enabled in your world menu. It can also be managed from the control panel inside the lobby here, where I've also enabled the skybox to become nighttime. The default is sunrise, but based on the hour, I'm going to go nighttime. Another thing you could do from your world menu is go into your status plates and set an indicator so people can see that you're busy doing something or open to doing something. Maybe it's hanging out, maybe it's playing games. You can also select those same status plates here on the wall. So we're in the office, and today I'm going to pick an office space to work in, and that will be Serenity. Now, I don't really want to work on a round table, so instead I'm going to head over to the control panel here, change this over to a desk. I can also do other things like frost the walls, enter voice mode if I want to basically not hear anyone or want to have a private conversation with somebody. I could do that from this panel here. There's other options too that you can control the room with, but for now, oh, and you can also shut the door. That's another thing. Set do not disturb banners out front. Those say do not disturb on the outside. There's one on this side too. Even a doorbell. But I really don't want to go too far with that right now. Instead, we're just going to get set up at the desk here. Straighten out a bit for my pass through. Now, I am on PC VR, so using virtual desktop, I'm able to spawn a pass-through portal, whether it's in the virtual desktop keyboard tracked settings, or if you just have the environmental pass-through on, which is what I have enabled here. Each desk in the Glass Office has controls to turn on pass-through. Again, this is a PC VR only thing for now until VR chat someday hopefully enables pass-through support or Meta integrates it into their system here. You'll see we also have a computer in front of us with the keyboard. I really don't want that on right now because it's actually in the way of the pass-through. So we'll turn that off. And now we're at the desk. So far, just a reminder, everything we've done has been basically compatible between standalone, Quest, and PC VR, aside from the pass-through. Now, I will go ahead and open up Remote Display Beta. I am on the version 69, version 69 public test channel release, which gives me the seamless multitasking, which is pretty awesome. It's a really awesome feature that they've opened up to us. But if I needed more real estate, if I'm on PC VR, I can choose my favorite overlay app and say grab an excess overlay screen and throw it up here as a secondary monitor. Using excess overlay, technically, let me get my hands back, technically I can spawn many more screens. And your computer can support that also if you install virtual display drivers. But you can see here, we have an ultra wide, which is supported on Meta Remote Display. This here is a website that we're working on for Glass Office. It's very unfinished, so I'm not going to poke around too much, but you can kind of get an idea of how things work in here. But yeah, just move my cursor across the windows here. And that is how you can work in Glass Office or get started in Glass Office. I'm not going to use this. Pick my controllers for a minute. It's a little bit easier sometimes. I'm not going to use that extra overlay for now. But we can also do is push Remote Display Beta out to enlarge your screen. It doesn't really make it, from a perspective wise, as far as the width and height goes, it's not really much wider than if it was up close. See how it'll automatically resize. I hope they give you a little more control over that. But it is nice to push it far away because I I've read, and I'm pretty sure I've experienced this now, to actually say that uh, when things are further away from you, it tends to be less strenuous on your eyes. And so it's actually pretty nice to have your screens out here, big and wide. I could also make this into what I call a super ultra wide, because I have a display driver on here that will let me do what's equivalent to two screens. 3040 by 1080. That's the technical resolution. Also, if you're using seamless multitasking, the moment you engage with your meta menu or display here, you'll notice my hands freeze in app. And that's normal. All you've got to do is select anywhere outside of this window, and then you're back in the world. And now this display will follow me wherever I go. Of course, you can turn this feature off. You can even just hide the display in general. The one thing to note here is this is, of course, going to take more performance. Or I'm sorry, it's going to take away from your performance, because now we're going to be interacting with the app we're in and also the meta display here. So keep that in mind. It's really cool having this feature. I definitely have been using it as my new primary go-to. And I'm really enjoying it. I really like how we can just move this around and get up and walk around and, pull it. It's basically like an XS overlay at this point, or an OVR overlay, or whatever you want to consider it to be. And I prefer it over those even because the clarity is really sharp on the Meta Remote display. It's really sharp. It's one of the sharper compositing screens that I've ever used. There we go. There we go. And yeah, that's really it. If you have any questions, let me know. Leave a comment, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Thanks for watching.